I got your wig, ho. You're mad. Miss Wig. I got your wig, ho. I got your wig, ho. Miss Wigiana. I got your wig.
Brianna, you're too hard on your mom by not allowing Brooks in her house. Aren't you being selfish?
I have to intervene. Because that's not the truth.
Brooks isn't allowed around me and my son, and that's
But
it.
not my home.
Not her home.
Like Brianna doesn't control if Brooks is going to be there or not.
That's
we
where
came
it's
to
getting
a
very
terms.
misconstrued this season. I can't believe this is coming to this. I didn't want him around my husband, myself, and my son.
That was their
And as long
choice.
as we were there that day or for that dinner, I didn't want him around.
Why?
They just don't like each other. She doesn't. Her and
No,
mine.
it's beyond liking. He's done some things that are very shocking and extremely disrespectful, and he's proven himself to be somebody that I don't trust around my family.
And that's that. We're not getting into detail. I'm telling you right now, I'm de-mic and walk off. We're not getting into details. This is not a Brooke bashing moment. He's already been bashed enough. There's nothing left of him.
I'm not asking what, but I want to know things disrespectful to you or...
To me, my husband, and my mother.
How does it feel to hear your daughter say that this man who you love is disrespectful to you?
It's hurtful, it's hard, but then again, we go back to Don and Mike. They've both been disrespectful to me too. And so maybe there's a pattern that I have to look within to help myself. So what I'm doing is taking a step back, being alone right now. And
Are you alone right now?
Yeah.
So you and Brooks are broken up right now?
We still talk. We saw each other once this week. We went to dinner. But no, we're not in the place that we were.
But you agree that he's disrespectful to you?
I care for him more than I probably have cared for anybody. Yes, he has been disrespectful to me.
If he's being so disrespectful for you, Vicky, why are you still with him?
There's been a few instances. It's not an everyday thing where I wouldn't be around it.
I think it's...
Well, don't make excuses for him.
But I think
I'm not. I just said that. It's not an everyday thing or I wouldn't be around it.
It should be a one-time thing. Cut the cord by.
You're making it sound like it's physical.
No, it's never been physical. It's never been physical. Never has he touched me. Ever.
He seriously, that's
You think
like
I'm just
scary.
upset, like, oh, I
That's
think
scary.
he's creepy. Oh, he talked to me about his size.
Is that hard for you to watch?
No,
No?
absolutely not.
Shouldn't it have been?
No, why?
You have no shame or hesitancy
There's no
about
shame
any of
in
your
my
behavior.
game. Not anymore. Absolutely not. At the time, yes, but not now.
Ellen from Scottsdale, Arizona said, you accuse your husband of having a drinking problem, but what about you? It seems like every time you go off the deep end, alcohol is involved. Do you think you drink too much?
No, I don't. And I don't have an alcoholic problem because I've been to AA classes and I don't have a drinking problem.
You went to AA?
Yes, I did.
And then did you go because you thought you had a drinking problem?
No, I had to go for a court order.
But did you get a DUI?
No, I didn't get a DUI. My husband and I were on the 4th of July, and he was getting in a fight with a big bunch of people, and I hit him to not get in a fight, and someone's gonna go to jail, and I'm the one who got in trouble. So that's what happened.
Wow.
That's what happened. In order to get it dismissed, I had to go to AA classes, which I think is a wonderful program, but I don't have a drinking problem.
Alcohol seems to be a common denominator, no?
It's not a common denominator. No, because I've never had a DUI. I've never had any of
No,
those
I mean,
problems.
in
I don't have problems
in the
with,
clips that we just watched.
No, because they pushed me to those problems.
They're the common denominator.
Yes.
Okay.
Heather, you rolled your eyes at that. Why?
I mean, it's just always someone else's fault.
Really? Did you not tell me either she's fired or I'm not filming with her, get her out of here?
By the way, I was horrified by you, but let's be honest.
Heather, did you say you wanted her fired?
No, what I
didn't
said
go look at her.
was,
You told
this
me
isn't
that.
our show.
It's
This
on
isn't
camera.
cool.
I might have
her or
known,
me,
but I
like that. You know what I mean?
So we're all here. Lydia, we lost you for a second. What happened?
I don't know, I just felt like I feel bad for them, I feel bad for her, it's just a lot. And I felt like it got too intense. I'm not used to being around so much of this.
Is there any resolution to be had? Your mom loves this guy. You don't get along with him.
There's no resolution.
Where do you go?
Vicky needs to listen. Vicky needs to listen to the tape. Vicky has to hear the tape. so that she can assess what the tape says for herself.
But he agreed. He said it. He agreed. She doesn't need to live. I mean,
He's saying he said it different than what Brianna's saying. So
there's a lot more that I can't even say. There's a lot more. I have a list in my wallet, actually, of things that you've done personally to our family.
Wow.
Vicky, are you afraid
That's all I need to
that
say.
if you listen to it, then you will have to be done with him forever? Is that why you won't listen?
The reality is I have encouraged, when there was this tape out, Vicky to listen to it. It's not my prerogative to force it down her, and I can't go to the home, and I haven't seen Brianna, and I haven't seen Ryan, and part of the deal with them moving into the home was not just me not going there, was for them to respect her and her wishes with her life. And they continue to badger that publicly and privately. So it's very difficult on Vicky. She shouldn't choose. She shouldn't
I don't
choose.
stand for abuse. I'm sorry if that you
I
see
don't
that as
either.
badgering,
I
but
don't
I don't
either.
stand for
I
anything
will
less
never
than
be abused.
perfect. Let's just say good. I just want a good relationship with my mom.
Someone who's kind of seen
Bizarre.
this from a more global angle
Bizarre.
is Tamara. I mean, do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh, I've got many.
Yeah.
God. What Brianna said makes me sick to my stomach. My heart is beating out of my chest. I went to lunch with Brooks, and I told him if I found out you've ever with Vicky or hurt her, touched her, stole her money, done anything to her, I would hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear that, my heart is
And I haven't done
pumping
those.
He
so
hasn't hurt me. He
By the
hasn't
way.
stolen my money.
Is there anything else that your mom needs to know, or we need to know? Because I feel like Vicky is making excuses for you, and I feel like
I do
she's getting
not make
defensive, and you're
excuses.
getting mad at Brianna because you don't want her to talk. And Vicky, I see a weak Vicky.
I'm not
That's
weak.
crying all the time since you've been with him.
not weak.
All you do is cry.
Because I have,
We never
I
got
have-
into a fight until he came
because
around.
I have remorse
us
over
either.
where my
Brianna
life
never
is
got into a
at.
fight.
I have remorse over where my life is at right now at 51.
Look, my mother used to say to me, don't date people that are inappropriate for you because you can fall in love with anyone. Brooks, I don't know the
Absolutely.
truth of the story. You've always been great to me, but at the end of the day, you're hearing all this. Maybe this isn't the right guy.
I know.
Not that he's a bad guy, but
know.
maybe not the right one
me.
for you. And I love you, I support you, but maybe it's time to move on.
And that's why I cry. I care about this guy a
How can you
lot.
care about
But
somebody
if
who
he's
talks about
being
your
that
daughter that way?
disrespectful to your daughter, Vic, like
And to
that's
you.
not good.
None of this hurts you?
Oh, it hurts me hugely. It hurts me. So I know it's embarrassing for him because I know he has remorse over it, and he can't change the past. He can't fix it.
This is the only source of ick in my life.
Yet it seems like you and your mom, just through this whole thing, have a very close thing going with Troy.
She's my best friend, and she's like my whole world, but how do you stand for somebody treating your best friend in the whole world like that? What do I do? Tell her that I support her, I love you, okay, but keep him away from me, and that's where we've been at for the last year. And if you want to be with somebody that treats you like that, then I can't do anything about it anymore. I've tried to stick up for her, and it backfired, and so now I just got to let her figure it out on her own.
I want you to understand something.
You're not the boss. Who makes you? Are you senior staff at Bravo?
Excuse me, I am explaining why I said this. I'm seeing your behavior at the sushi party, and then
My behavior at the sushi party, I was pushed.
Let me finish. I was horrified. Not only that,
Horrified?
but be quiet.
Instead of calling her fancy pants, you should be bossy pants, okay? Because you
Let
told me.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
Speaking. We're sitting in a private room at a Japanese restaurant that has paper-thin walls. Everyone can hear you. The last time that I was at this restaurant was the last time that I saw my brother-in-law alive. So to go in to this restaurant where I have very bad memories and then be involved in a situation that I cannot believe that I am sitting at a table
Embarrassing.
with someone that is screaming, "See you next Tuesday," at the top of her lungs. Whether you think my reaction was overboard or not, I'm telling you, this was my visceral reaction. I was horrified. I took off my microphone.
And there's a lot to talk about, and I want to get to the issues surrounding the email and being asked to leave Heather's house and Lizzie's party, but I want to start with how it all began. Heather, in your blog, you wrote, "I felt like when Shannon met the other girls, she wasn't interested in me anymore." Do you think Tamara and Vicky influenced your relationship with Shannon?
This is what was going on with me. I was being what I felt was picked on by Vicky and Tamara. And then when I met Shannon, I thought we were actually going to be friends because I thought, oh, we have a lot of stuff in common, whatever. And then I introduced Shannon to them, and I felt like they just all clicked and went off without me. And I felt very isolated from everyone because these were my friends. And I realized how ridiculous and sensitive and prickly I was during a lot of these things, but that's really where I was coming from. I mean, believe me, if I could not take the chair back, would I do it in a heartbeat? Yes. In my mind, was it a bigger event than it was? Yes. I'm very sorry for that. I wish it hadn't happened.
You know, I appreciate you saying you're sorry about the chair thing right now because I haven't heard an apology at all. In your blog, I read it as though you were perceiving that I was walking out with my arms raised.
Well, I know what I saw. You came out of the bathroom and you did one of your Shannon moments, which was...
Is that this? But you said I screamed across Javier's restaurant. And that
I think I just said that in my mind, it was bigger than it was. So I'm sorry for that.
But I feel as though it's part of the Heather Dubrow plan. Is if I repeat the same thing enough times, people are going to start to believe it. Shannon's crazy. She is scary angry, scary angry, scary angry. When you keep saying it over and over, maybe at some point the viewers are going to start to believe it.
I don't have a plan.
Okay.
That is not my way of being. So however I repeated it, I'm explaining why, and I've apologized.
I want to talk about the hoedown. Molly from Dayton, Ohio said, Heather, you singled out Shannon for being late, but Vicky was late too. To use one of your own words, it seemed punitive. Was this just Sharegate retribution?
No, it had nothing to do with that. I walked into the conversation and Tamara said to me, we were just talking about why Shannon was late.
So you blame Tamara for bringing it up?
I honestly do. You did bring it up. I walked into the...
I did. I think the worst thing in the world is for her to walk up and we all go.
It would have been better.
I have to say, Tamara, you're really good at this. You're really good at stirring the pot because you did point it out. And then you come over to me and you say, Heather's upset. And I say, don't say anything to her. I don't want to ruin her party. But you go back to Heather.
Okay, we're going to talk more about Tamara stirring the pot later. But right now, I want to talk about Shannon's Christmas party. Shannon, in your blog, you wrote, what upset me was the tone in which Heather was speaking to Tamara. I spoke in a firm voice, but I definitely did not yell. Tamara, do you think that Shannon yelled at Heather?
No.
You don't? So, Heather, you repeated many times, I was yelled at in her home. Do you think she yelled?
No, I don't. It was obviously a misfortunate choice of words because it's obviously not the decibel of Shannon's voice, but maybe the tone of the words. That was what I meant.
Carlene from Burlington, Vermont said, Shannon, whether you yelled or not, Heather was talking to Tamara and you jumped in like a crazy person. How would you feel if the tables were turned?
Okay, well, you know what? I felt that you were speaking condescending. I really felt as though you were lecturing her like a child. And you have to understand that about 5 minutes prior to that, Tamara relayed to me that you had said she needed to pick a side, that it had to be you as a friend or me as a friend.
Which is not what I said.
What did you say? Did you say pick
what
a side?
I said, no, I think what I literally said was pick a lane. Like, if you're going to be friends with me, be friends with me all the time. Don't just be, excuse me?
Pick a lane to me means pick a side. I don't see
No, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
But the context of what she's saying is, if you're my friend.
By the way, make it pick a lane, pick a side, whatever you want. It's not choose between me and Shannon. It's be my friend all the time when everyone's around, or don't be my friend.
Knowing what you know now about Tamara, or do you regret standing up for her the way you did?
Absolutely.
Tamara, what's your reaction?
She's welcome to her opinion.
And Shannon's husband, David.
Hi, Andy. Great to
You look like you lost a hell of a lot of weight.
Probably 25, 30 pounds. Trying to keep up with Terry now.
Looks good.
And you too.
I lost about 23.
From working out?
Yeah.
And you too, just working out?
Working out and eating less, not as much chips and salsa.
I don't care because I'm mad.
Because people can change their mind.
Why wouldn't you stand behind it then, but you stand behind it now? You apologize for it
because I
then.
know how they work. I saw it differently now, and I didn't think I was right at the time, but now I do.
What's changed?
How they treated me in Ireland.
A 30-minute bus ride does not change 4 months of hideous behavior.
Really? You're hideous.
Lupe
For
from
telling
Chula
me
Vista.
what to do and getting involved.
Lupe,
when
hey,
nothing
Kelly.
has to do with you.
Kelly, Lupe from Chula Vista, California wants to know if your daughter's seen the show and what's your reaction to your behavior?
My daughter doesn't watch the show.
Do you feel like it's something that you will be proud to show her?
My daughter is very proud of me. Very, very proud of me. My daughter is a straight-A student. She's thriving.
Megan, I want to know what you think because Kelly's kind of doubling down here.
I mean,
you've tried to guide her through the season, I feel like.
Kelly clearly gets very, very defensive, and when she gets defensive, she goes back dirty, and I don't think you would deny that.
And I didn't know there was rules.
I don't like anything about that. I don't like malice, and I don't like
malice.
I like people being kind and taking ownership for their mistakes and
And I do.
standing by that ownership and not rescinding an apology just because
Doesn't
you
matter.
don't like where
Look,
you
there's
are right
apology,
now.
it
in the
doesn't matter
place.
with these women.
That's
And
ridiculous.
it's
Your
not
pattern is
okay.
rage and
But
repeat,
you know what your pattern
rage
is?
and
Your pattern
repeat,
is getting involved
and
when I'm
everyone
talking to somebody. That's your
accepts your
pattern.
apology
That's your
over and over
pattern.
again.
Your pattern is to interrupt me and to be an interloper, and when I'm having a conversation, that's your pattern.
Tracy from Evanston, Illinois said, Kelly, talking about Tamara's daughter was way out of line. You knew she would eventually see it on the show. Why did
No,
you
I didn't
say
talk about her daughter.
it? You said,
No,
I don't
no.
blame her.
Her
Who
daughter
can
for not
blame
talking to
her
her.
daughter?
No, I said, it's no wonder why her daughter doesn't talk to her. I'm not talking about her daughter.
As you can imagine, we got a lot of questions on this topic. Tamara, Marin from Tacoma, Washington said, when Vicky called to invite you to her fiesta party, she said that Brooks was getting ready for his 3rd round of chemo. In the background, Eddie coughed and said, oh, why did he do that?
I think at that point, nobody believed anything Brooke said.
Even this.
Well, you know, it's a credibility issue. I mean, the bottom line is, I remember when we were shopping
lied so
for
many
your wedding
times.
dress?
Yeah.
And we were at that store, and Lori said that he was dating a porn star, and he said, no, 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 I'm not dating a porn star. And all of a sudden he admitted, yeah, I dated the porn star.
But then is it hypocritical for you to be so upset about what she said when you
I'm
have...
saying it hurt me. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It hurt me bad.
It's the most hurtful thing that you could say to Tamara at this point in
And
her
she
life.
knew it.
I understand.
We had
So it's
conversations
not-
about it.
And
She
did you
said she
push
was
her
worried.
in the store? We didn't
Yeah.
see what happened. You pushed her in the department store?
I grabbed her by the shoulders.
She
And
did
I
not
said,
hit
"Don't
you,
touch-"
Kelly.
She pushed me hard.
She, like,
Vicky,
Hold on.
I know.
She hit me.
She hit
Hold on.
Did
she hit her?
I
She
didn't
took
punch
her shoulders and pushed her.
her.
She pushed her.
I was there.
I was there.
I remember Heather
She
and I
pushed,
there.
I was there.
pushed me, bam, hard.
You didn't
knocked it
move.
out.
You didn't even
Of
move.
course I did. And she
Tamara
did.
Renee from Dover, Delaware said this isn't...
Push is not a
God,
hit.
she's
Tamara-
got mental
You put your
problems.
hands on somebody, that is a hit.
You guys, stop.
Maybe you
Stop.
don't know the difference.
Stop. Kelly,
I mean,
stop.
regardless,
Stop.
I'm not happy
Stop.
about it.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Stop. Renee from Dover, Delaware said this isn't the first time you've gotten physical with another housewife, Tamara.
We had a lot of time off camera, and she said, Brooks has been diagnosed with cancer. And I said, what? And she said, well, he's going to City of Hope right now. He's getting testing done. We don't know what it is. And I said, okay. And then on the way home, she called Brooks to say, well, are you okay? What did the doctor say? And he would not return her call. And she was crying the entire flight. And then we landed. And immediately, Vicky was on the phone. Do you have cancer? He said, call me when you get in the car. I'll let you know. And so I'm like, does he have cancer, whatever? And then Vicky gets in the car. She calls me finally, and she goes, he's fine. Nothing. And I feel like he throws that cancer card out to get sympathy.
Yeah. Do you think he had cancer this time?
I do. I don't have any proof that he doesn't have cancer, and he won't give me enough proof that he does have cancer.
Me.
So that's
Really?
where I'm at. I've been busy with my business. I've been busy with the
Stop.
show.
But
I've been busy, and
Stop.
all
We
these
have enough
different
to
things are
contribute to
coming
say it
together
doesn't
as a
make
big
sense.
house. I'm like,
Stop.
there's got to be truth in this stuff. There
Really?
has to be truth in this stuff.
My very first year on the show, Vicky and I, we clicked immediately. And she called me and said, somebody I was very close to has cancer. It was somebody that I have a connection with. And now I regret never carrying on this connection.
Pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer. And he's dying. And I feel like I need to go be with him and leave Dawn and be with this guy. And I said, wow, okay. She was crying, all this stuff.
I remember that
It was
too.
Brooks.
I remember that.
And he lied that.
And it was pancreatitis.
Yeah.
Yet now I know that he used cancer when he initially called you, and you thought he was dying of cancer in 2008.
yeah, I did. I thought he had pancreatic
All right,
cancer.
but Vicky, you're a very smart girl. I mean, I guess
Absolutely
my
I am.
question is, did you ever see a real doctor? All you show are these non-oncologists. Like, where's the real doctor?
His
one you
real
filmed was a
doctor,
brand new
Dr.
doctor that
Vandermeulen,
you'd
did
never
not
seen
want to
before.
film.
He never saw Dr. Vandermeulen. You want to know why I know? Because he lives down the street from me. He never saw him. That's BS.
Interesting.
Oh my God.
He didn't go to an oncologist.
What
in
about the
Hogue.
City of Hope? They film.
They filmed because I filmed at City of Hope.
I was only up to City of Hope once. when I was there.
Vicky, when we were at Heather's luncheon, you screamed at me, you with tears in your eyes, how your boyfriend Brooks is fighting for his life,
because that's what I believe.
How dare I do, talk about
believe.
cancer, and how my, my relationship with cancer is my husband's ex-wife, and you had the audacity to scream at me like that.
Kelly has an anger issue, but don't you have one too?
Yes.
But yeah.
No,
I think she's worked so
no,
hard on herself.
I am not a good drunk. I would have never done that if I wasn't drinking, and I feel really bad about it.
Kelly,
She's the only one that's apologized to me.
God, there's so many apologies going back and forth all day long, every day. We're all going to screw up. We're all going to mess up. You got to be able to go,
But there's
I didn't mean
nothing
to do
wrong
that.
with
I'm
an
sorry about
apology,
that.
Vicky.
Move on.
I have to get to the bottom of this with you, Vicky, because I wonder if you would go to these lengths to stay with this guy or protect this guy over your daughter and your friends.
It wasn't over.
Is it
wasn't
that?
over.
It was over.
Is it a matter of you being very lonely? Is it a matter of you having low self-esteem? What is the root of this?
Well, that's interesting because there obviously is something that I fear. I came from an amazing home. My parents were married till my dad died, and I had a flawless childhood. So I haven't put my finger on it yet because I kept looking at fixing this relationship or making this relationship be as best as possible was easier than Shannon and I going to quiet women trying to find our next husbands. That to me sounds just nightmare, and it wasn't all bad, it really wasn't. We did have our hiccups, we did have problems. The problems grew greater as the season grew greater, and I kept needling him and questioning, why aren't you producing the book that I did for you?
But you were saying it was disgusting that you would have to do something like that in confidence to me.
It was, because he kept coming back to me saying, who has to produce their medical records? And again, I don't think it's appropriate, but because there were so many questions, I said, you have to do this. So every time I asked him to do it, it became another situation like, do you not believe I have cancer? And I said, well, I don't have any reason not to believe it, but there's things not adding up, Brooks. And to this day.
But if we say things aren't adding up, we're disgusting
well,
and vile.
because I didn't want you guys to be involved in his health care.
Shannon, Emma from Provo, Utah wants to know, do you think it's possible that Vicky doesn't want to know the truth?
That's my feeling.
No.
Yeah, because if he is faking it, I look like an idiot.
I'm sorry. I'm
You already look like an idiot.
Person.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying
idiot.
to be rude.
Megan,
but
I'm
with
not
everything
an idiot.
that happened throughout the season and everything that we're saying, Vicky, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here, and you still try to defend it. I'm sorry.
I'm not defending it. I owned it.
You look like an idiot.
In the glamorous world of reality television, where secrets and scandal thrive, meet Amelia, the cunning and captivating real housewife who would stop at nothing to maintain her coveted position on the wildly popular network show. Amelia has always been a woman of ambition, navigating her way through the cutthroat social circles of the elite. But being a housewife on the small screen offered her a tantalizing taste of fame, fortune, and influence that she simply couldn't resist. With her perfectly coiffed hair, designer wardrobe, and a smile that could disarm even the most skeptical producer, Amelia quickly became a fan favorite, captivating audiences with her larger-than-life persona. But being a housewife is far from the glitz and glamour it appears to be. It's a world where alliances are forged and broken, and every move is calculated to secure a place in the spotlight. Amelia, the master manipulator, knows this all too well. She understands that her job as a housewife is not just about entertaining the masses, but about playing the game of power, influence, and survival. As the show progresses, Amelia finds herself entangled in a web of intricate relationships with her fellow housewives. Friendships turn into rivalries, and alliances are tested as they vie for the center stage. Secrets are whispered, scandals are exposed, and carefully constructed facades begin to crumble, revealing the true nature of these women. But Amelia is not one to be outshined. She knows that to remain relevant, she must adapt and evolve. She becomes a master of manipulation, whispering sweet nothings to the right people, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of her enemies, and strategically positioning herself in the narrative that unfolds before the camera's lens. Amidst the chaos, Amelia learns that even the seemingly invincible can falter. Family dramas, personal struggles, and unexpected tragedies threaten to unravel the carefully crafted image she so meticulously built. And as the pressure mounts, she must decide how far she is willing to go to protect her status as the Queen of Housewives. In this gripping portrayal of reality TV's underbelly, behind the scenes of a housewife takes readers on an exhilarating journey into the world of fame, fortune, and deception. Will Amelia's ruthless determination to stay on top ultimately lead to her downfall? Or will she prove that she is indeed the ultimate real housewife, capable of conquering both the small screen and the drama that lies beneath it?
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.